So obviously I have my husband, Will.
Here I am.
For this particular video. We just hit 500,000 followers on TikTok, and I know, isn't that crazy? And
It's
considering
pretty
we've
crazy.
only been doing it for like less than 9 months is kind of like mind-blowing. But and we asked on TikTok if you guys wanted to do a Q&A, so we put a post up on TikTok and you guys left almost 200 comments asking questions. So we'll try to get through the
Yikes.
popular ones as quickly as we can in celebration of reaching 500K.
Let's do it.
Madina TV says, was there anything that inspired Will to convert to Islam, and was there a click moment?
Wow. What inspired me? She inspired me. She inspired me to search for truth in life. So in terms of an inspiration, she would be the inspiration that kind of lit the spark, lit the fire underneath me, and obviously away that went. And then a click moment? No, honestly, I think for me it was like, there was a lot of clicks. It was like click, 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 click,
At least
click,
you're
click,
honest.
click, click. Yeah, I mean, even today, like 11 years later, I get click moments where I'm like, oh my God, wow. Like when you study religion and you look into it and you look into the other side of it, right? You look at the people who attack religion, and and then you kind of counter their arguments and you find the answers, and it's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So always clicking.
Always clicking.
Always clicking.
Okay, let's see. When do you get time to do this? And that's by Sidris321. I think she means like when you get time to film TikTok videos. Honestly, when our kids are sleeping. Like our kids are asleep right now, so we're filming.
Yeah, we also have a blessing in the fact that your mom lives downstairs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she's able
She
to
lives
watch
with
the
us,
girls.
so we have our children always have somebody, no matter what. So that definitely makes things incredibly helpful for us.
Vale_C20 says, what are some traditional weddings, and is there anything that you guys aren't allowed to do in a wedding?
Islamically, traditional is very simple. You go to the mosque, you say, do you take you? Do you take you? Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
You have
yes,
some
yes,
witnesses. Boom, that's it.
And that's what we did, actually. That's like literally how we got married, is we went to a mosque, we did the yes, 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 just with a couple of our close friends and family, and that's it.
Close friends? I don't even know some of those people.
I had my close friends.
Yeah, I didn't. I literally showed up. I drove, I think, like 6-7 hours.
Yeah.
Got home, had a shower, went to the mosque, and got married. That's literally
what he did. And I spent like a lot of time getting ready. Anyway.
I think I cleaned things up a little bit.
And then in terms of culture, like we did have like the traditional, I guess you can say, Pakistani wedding. And that was a couple months later, like after we had our nikah, which is our marriage ceremony.
Yeah, Islamic.
Yeah. But everybody is from a different culture, so everybody is going to kind of do it differently.
Sure. So, and in terms of what isn't allowed, alcohol isn't allowed. The disco,
the dancing,
partying,
and like
that sort of stuff is
we didn't do any of that.
We did, however, have a separate men's, separate women's. Hindsight, I wish we wouldn't have, but
yeah,
that's just the way we were at the time.
Yeah.
So, but it all worked out.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
Because that's not a religious requirement. It's just an extremist requirement.
Okay, Safi_999 said, how do you feel comfortable in your faith? I honestly wish I could believe in something. I've read the Bible and Quran and still doesn't make sense. Like, if there's one true God or religion, why are there so many religions? Not trying to offend them, just really confused. So that's actually a really good question.
It's a great question.
Like, as Muslims, we believe that the core message was always the same, and that over time humans and people were the ones that were changing the message. And then that's why we believe that Muhammad, peace be upon him, came to bring the last message and to make sure that it was preserved. So
I always relate to Ozzy Osbourne.
Okay.
Too many religions, but only one God.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
He said, I mean, it's Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah,
so
it's honestly preaching the same message of
it is when
God.
when you look at the core of all religion, it's pretty much the same. And Islam, as far as I know, is the only religion that actually says that we sent messengers to all nations, to all people, to preach about God, the oneness of God. And that doesn't necessarily mean that a book was sent to all people, but people were sent to different nations to preach, about God. And then again, like she said, that over the course of eons and eons and eons, things change, governments take over, governments implement their own rules, their own, they use religion and twist it in order to control people and blah, 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 until you get to the point where for us, Islam is the culmination of all of those messages wrapped up into one that cannot change until the day of judgment because it is locked inside of the hearts and the minds of millions of people.
Yeah. Amara _ Axar says, how long have you been on TikTok and YouTube? Is social media your full-time job? And what inspired you to do YouTube?
Cool.
Okay, so we started TikTok in February of this year, like right when quarantine started.
It's 2020, just
and yeah,
in case this is 100 years from now, people need to know.
In 2020. Right when quarantine started for COVID-19.
The craziest year any of us could ever remember.
Yeah, and our first video was literally of our cat. So it's not like we intended to do it as a career or a job. It was just for fun, and it still is. And we're in Canada, so we don't get paid to do TikTok. We just do it because we absolutely love it, and we love connecting with all of you guys. It's just such an incredible platform, and it's given us a lot of opportunities. One being our new business, LALA Hijabs. So we now own a hijab company. This is one of our hijabs from our fall collection. And that wouldn't have come about had it not been for TikTok. So, and YouTube is like secondary. Like this YouTube channel is also just kind of for fun. And I'm not consistent with it. Unfortunately, I need to kind of learn how to become more consistent. It's just, I think we're just so busy with everything else that it's just not as
maybe more in the future when things kind of level out. But yeah, so this is technically social media kind of is our full-time job because we stay home and work our business. So we do a lot of social media stuff.
Yeah. Can you answer? Call me 912 says, can you answer? Men can color their hair? What? Men can color their hair chemical color, not henna.
Yeah, absolutely. So at the time of the Prophet, peace be upon him, they used to use henna to dye their hair, their beards. And you can dye it whatever color you want with chemicals. Some say that you can't dye it jet black. Others say that that's not a problem as well. But yeah, you can, no problem with chemicals.
Okay, Reem Bal Bessie says, how did you meet and when did you get married? So we have an entire video.
Yeah, maybe check the last video that's got like hundreds of thousands of views.
Yeah.
That's the story of us.
That's the story of us. And when did you get married? October
14th, 2013.
There you go. That's when we got married. Someone else, can you tell us how you met? That is already answered. OSMOSM02 says, what year did you start studying Islam and who told you about it?
I'm going to assume that's for me.
Yeah, probably.
She told me about it, and I started studying Islam 2009, because that's the year I converted. Converted, let's save the semantics. Yeah, so that would be when I first started to kind of heavily look into it and research and... The research and development phase was 2009. Research
and development. And then for me, I feel like, well, I was born Muslim, but I started becoming more aware of my faith probably in like 2010 or maybe 2011. I don't know. A couple years like before we got married. That's kind of like when I started wearing hijab and things took a turn. You can watch my hijab story if you want to on YouTube. Chrissy Rose 97 says, is there any advice your husband has about how he takes care of his beard? Common question.
Let's see. I use a straight razor to clean these lines. I use scissors for my mustache and my soul patch. I use a hog hairbrush. Yeah, that's a pig. To brush my beard because it gets rid of all the dead skin and stuff that builds up in there better than anything
for beards,
else.
Isn't it?
Well, it's made for pigs, but I mean, yeah, they are. They're specific for beards because they get in deep and they get rid of the grossness that gets built up in there. And then I use beard oil. I mean, there's a million different kinds out there. Any kind of, I've used literally every type of oil you can imagine. And yeah, from time to time, I clean it up and I trim it myself because there's only one barber that I trust unequivocally with my beard, and he's 3,000 kilometers away. Shout out to the Gentleman's Shop in Vernon, BC.
Okay.
Brett Kelly.
Mela Shea says, do you ever pity or feel envious of Western women's clothing? All love, no judgment. No, not really. Because, I mean, like, I grew up wearing t-shirts. I never wore shorts growing up, even as a kid. Or even as a teenager, I should say. As a kid, I probably did. I don't really know. Not really. I mean, there's certain things that I'm like,
I think there
like
maybe,
I wish there were dresses that had longer sleeves, or I wish, you know, that dress came in like a more modest version, or, you know, things like that.
it seems like more like they're asking like, are you upset that you can't wear a skirt or a bikini to the beach? Or
No.
I think that's maybe where they're going with that because
No.
the Western, right?
No. Where was your guys' best vacation outside of Canada till now? Malaysia.
Hands down.
Yeah, we've
It's
talked
the only
about it.
vacation we've taken. Well, I guess we've been to the States a bunch, but
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, that was probably like the most iconic place we've ever traveled to. Jillian Marie says, "What do you love the most about Islam?" I love that it has no boundaries in terms of who can be Muslim and who can be recognized as a Muslim. Like all colors, all ethnicities.
I love the fact that God teaches us that if you want something in the next life, you're required to do something in this life, which is help poor people, to give to charity, to be kind, to be respectful, to be all of these things with a high moral standard and a high moral conduct. And that by doing those things in this life, that is what will guarantee, not necessarily guarantee, but that's what will work towards a better place in the next life. So it's like instead of just saying, you're going to have this, so forget about what you need to do there, it's saying, no, you need to continuously think every single day what you can do to be a better person.
Nisha Mawani says, "Would you add niqabs to LALA hijabs?"
We've talked about it.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
It's not quite as easy as that.
Yeah.
But
we've definitely thought about it. It's just, it gets a little bit complicated in terms, because we like hand dye everything. So we're like trying to work out the logistics of like what that would look like.
fabric, material, sourcing.
Yeah, all of those
There's a lot
things.
to it, but
So maybe in the future, inshallah.
exactly, maybe
That would
in
be
the
pretty
future.
cool. Prince Amiko says, "Is it disrespectful to wear a hijab if you're not Muslim or female?" So anyone that's not Muslim can wear a hijab, but it is reserved for technically women.
Well, yeah, but
Right?
at the same time, if you look at the turban of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it was very much similar to this. Instead of like the turbans that you see today, it wasn't necessarily like that. Meaning, it was covering the head, it was underneath the neck and slung over the shoulder. If you go to an Arab country, you see they wear that same type of, especially in North Africa, that same type. I myself have worn it time to time, sometimes a lot of the time. So I think if that's what you mean, then yeah, by all means.
Just Alex says, "How does it feel to have a huge TikTok family? By the way, I love you guys. We love you too."
Feels pretty awesome.
Yeah, it feels pretty cool. I don't think we expected this.
No,
like, at all.
No.
When we started, like I said, like our first video was a cat video.
Yeah.
So we don't it just like happened. We just stumbled across it. It's not like we like meant for this.
I think
to
it's
happen.
pretty awesome, that you have, like we have, 500 plus thousand followers, that when people say negative things to us, like you guys just like jump on them and like, what are you like, and just like stand up as if we're a family, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So the bigger question is, how do you guys like being part of the Saleh family?
Yeah, that's right. I like that. Luke Fortusini says, "What is both of your favorite foods?"
French fries.
I love pizza. But I don't know if that would be like a favorite though, because I love Desi food too. I love Pakistani food. I think I would probably pick Pakistani food over pizza.
That's not a favorite food. That's like saying, what's your favorite town?
Okay,
It's like Canada.
So I would say sag is my absolute favorite dish. I could eat it all the time. It's so good. If you don't know what that is, it's so good. Try it out.
I'm a French fry guy. So is my
French
daughter.
fries all the
Doesn't
time.
matter where they're from,
Yeah,
what country
she
they're
loves
from,
them.
what masala you put on there. French fries.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so Clara Smith BB says, "Do you guys celebrate birthdays?"
Yes.
We're going to be doing a TikTok video about this, so stay tuned for that because we'll kind of go into detail. But
Should
we
give some
personally
detail?
do celebrate our birthdays. Yeah.
So unfortunately, you have a lot of opinions that say one thing, some say the other thing. In Islam, if Islam didn't come to dictate celebrations for you, and in fact, something that's encouraged is the love of a family. So anniversaries, they're encouraged because sure, it might only be one day of the year, but it's a time when a husband and a wife are renewing kind of that love and appreciation and memories and all that sort of stuff. And birthdays is the same thing. So then people will say, well, yeah, but birthday candles and birthday cake, that's a pagan tradition. And unequivocally that if it is associated, like we talked about in one of our videos, that Halloween, it is still to this day a pagan holiday. Or I don't know if you could call it festival, but whatever you want to specify. But it's a pagan thing. It's theirs. So for us as Muslims to imitate whatever they are doing on that day, even if it is like not like even if we don't know, then it's not okay for us. But if that thing died out 1,000 years ago, 500 years ago, and there's zero association with paganism. Like if I told you that, did you know that blowing out the candles on your birthday cake is representing blowing out the candles for the moon goddess, blah blah blah, in the Greek mythology? And people would be like, what the heck are you even talking about, right? There is no association with paganism and birthdays. It is a universally accepted cultural practice all over the world.
Everybody celebrates.
Yeah, so for people who say you can't do that, sorry, but we can. I mean, Allah knows best. We certainly take the opinion that there is nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with a birthday cake. It's for a 5-year-old. Like, I mean, let's be honest. As long as you're not drinking alcohol, as long as you're not, the nightclub scene and that sort of stuff. I mean, that's just obvious.
Yeah.
Right? But
we're pretty low key in terms of birthdays, anyways.
Yeah,
you guys.
I mean,
we literally just say happy birthday to each other. We give each other cards and presents, and we do a cake.
Yeah, and sometimes we do candles. Sometimes we don't because we can't find the candles. Most of the time.
Most of the time. That's
and sometimes we invite Disney princesses.
Yes. For our daughters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. All right. That's it.
That's it.
For the questions.
Awesome.
For now. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. It means a lot to us. And if you enjoy videos like this, like, you need to tell us, like, in the comments that you enjoy these things, and then maybe we'll make an effort to, like, schedule it in, like, every week. So
otherwise,
we can, like, sit
chance.
down. Yeah, so we can sit down. And that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed it, click subscribe down below and click the little like button. Make sure that you comment. Let us know that you enjoyed this video. If you enjoy having Will on my channel, then tell me that too.
It's marriage. It's 50% my channel. So that means, yeah, it is what it is.
Oh, that's right. All right, guys. Take care.
Thanks again for 500, y'all.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.